Good morning, children. I hope everyone is fit and fine. Today we are going to begin with the fourth chapter of your syllabus, Economic Organization. Let us understand which activity of man is called economic activity. Economic activity of man is such a fundamental activity without which man cannot exist at all. Man's efforts to satisfy his desire for food, shelter, and clothing constitute the primary economic activity of man. Along with these basic activities, many more are added and an intricate economic system is formed. The economic activities are mainly concerned to attain the objects which are not naturally available, rather a continuing and organized effort is essential for that. For example, growing of food crops or cash crops, or making home as a shelter. Now, the question comes, what is meant by economic organization? Economic organization consists of ordering and organization of human relations and human efforts to procure as many of the necessities of day-to-day life as possible with the expenditure of minimum effort. It means man satisfies his daily needs by doing little effort in a systematic or organized way, and this is known as economic organization. We can say that it is an effort to secure the maximum satisfaction through adapting limited means to unlimited ends or needs in an organized manner. So we see that the primitive economic organization was different and modern economic organizations are different. How? Primitive economic organizations fall into the category of production consumption economy, but the modern economic organizations in production, consumption, and also distribution economy. So this is the difference between the primitive economic organization and modern economic organization. Now another thing is, there are some goods which are produced by men are called economic goods, and some goods are called the free goods. So let us see the difference between economic goods and free goods. The scarce objects which are attained through a serious and continuous effort of man for the satisfaction of basic needs of living are known as economic goods. Whereas there are some other goods which can be attained spontaneously, such as air, sunlight, river water, etc., which are known as free goods. These can be attained without any specific effort, and these are the blessings of nature to men. So this is the difference between economic goods and the free goods. Now our another topic is the economies of Indian tribes. Tribes means the primitive people. There is great difference between the economies of tribes and the economies of modern people. So we are going to discuss the economies of Indian tribes. Indian tribes pass through several stages of economy, like that of food gatherers, pastorals, and agriculturists. In many occasions, we find same tribe is engaged in various economic activities simultaneously. For example, hunting can be combined with honey gathering, agriculture can be combined with animal husbandry. So, here are some examples of some tribes like Santhals. Santhals earned their living by farming and collecting forest resources. Another example is of Bhumij tribe. This tribe is basically preoccupied with farming, means their main occupation is farming, but occasionally they go for hunting also. So many activities can be combined together. Then Madan and Majumdar have conducted the study on Indian tribes, and they have divided the tribes of India into three types. The first is the northeastern groups. These northeastern tribes are busy in terrace agriculture as it is a hilly area. Then comes the second group of tribes. We call it the Middle Indian group, and it is mainly concerned with shifting X cultivation. And the third group is Southern tribe. It is based on the elementary food gathering stage. So we see that the main occupations or the main economies of Indian tribes are hunting, fishing, basket making, and collecting forest resources. Now let us begin with the first one, that is food gathering. The tribes like Birhor, Khariya, Chenchu, they all are food gatherers. They collect fruits, honey, edible roots from the forest regions and also hunt various animals. So this is all about food gathering. Now these people do not stay at a place for a long time, but they migrate from place to place, especially they migrate from one hills to another hill. Second occupation of tribes is agriculture. Agriculture is the main economic activity of the tribal people of India. Prominent examples of agricultural tribes include Orion tribe, Munda tribe, Bhil, Santhal and Korwa, including Ho. Agriculture is the important traditional occupation of the Mundas. Both men and women work in the field, but the females are not allowed to touch the plough. Sowing and reaping, means cutting or collection of the crops, are mainly done by females. Some of them have kitchen gardens where they produce sweet potato, brinjal, chili, onion, etc. and sell in the market. So we see that in agriculture work, both males and females are engaged. Then the next occupation is called shifting X cultivation. Shifting cultivation was popular among the tribal people of primitive tribes. This implies changing the places of cultivation after the production of a particular crop. The same plot of land were not cultivated for a long time, but instead the cultivators move from one place to another. First of all, they clear a patch of the jungle with the aid of axe and fire. They produce some crops, and after 2 or 3 years, a maximum of 4 years, they leave that place and they migrate to another jungle. So this is known as shifting X cultivation. The shifting X cultivation was known by different names. At some places like Assam, it is called jhum or jhuming. The Marias call it penda. Even the Konds tribe call it penda. The Bega tribe call it bevar. So this shifting X cultivation is called by different names. Here the forest trees are put to X, and when the fallen trees dry, the tribals set it ablaze and they use the area for cultivation. So it is a kind of deforestation. The next occupation is handicrafts. The tribal people always had some allied occupations with their main economic activity of agriculture and hunting, fishing, etc. These include basket making, spinning and weaving, pottery, metalwork, cane work. Tribal handicrafts are very popular even in the modern world. So this is another occupation of the tribes where the cultivation of bamboo is in excess. They make some mats and baskets of bamboo. Then the next occupation is pastoralism. Pastoralism implies the economic organization which is based on animal rearing. Especially Toda tribes are engaged. These Toda tribes belong to Nilgiri Hills of South India. So Toda economy is built around the buffaloes. They mainly live upon selling and distributing milk and milk products. They exchange those items with neighboring people to get other essential items. Socio-religious life of Todas also revolve around their milk-based economies. Then Bhotias, which belong to North UP, are also the pastoral people, though they are involved in agriculture too. So they live in the pastures because it is essential for feeding their animals. Now the next occupation is industrial labor. It is another economy. Tribal people of India gradually lost their original occupations and joined industrial sector almost being forced by the circumstances. Certain tribal areas in central India have been found rich in natural ores like coal, iron and steel. So some of the tribes which are living in these areas which are rich in the natural ores, they are occupied in the mines or in the industries as unskilled workers. The Santhals are said to be good coal cutters and pick miners. So they are used in the coal mines. They lost their lands and dwelling to give space for the reservoirs for Kansavati and Mayurakshi. They had to resettle in new places which compelled them to work as laborers in the coal mines and factories of Asansol, Durgapur and Chittaranjan. The Santhals and the Hos are prominent in Bihar iron steel industry. Tribal labor is also employed by labor contractors in collecting forest produce, in the construction of roadways and railways. They also work in agricultural sector as wage labor. Thus, the tribal people are now absorbed in new economy. Some of the tribals which are living in the northeast of India, or some of the tribes which were not living there but they have shifted towards that area, they have been engaged in the tea gardens. They have got some jobs in the tea gardens. So this is all about industrial labor. So we have seen that the main economies or the main occupations of the tribal people are food gathering, agriculture, shifting eggs cultivation, handicrafts, pastoralism and industrial labor. Now our next topic in this first part is the concept of weekly market. Now, market is a very special social institution according to the sociologist, because it has social importance, it has cultural importance, and it has economic importance too. So here we are going to talk about a special kind of market which is called the periodic markets or the weekly markets. These weekly markets are arranged or organized in the remote areas, in tribal areas where there is lack of permanent market. So every week a kind of hart or a market is organized and the people are gathered at that particular place for exchange of goods and services. So let us discuss some of the points regarding the weekly markets. These weekly or periodic markets are a central feature of social and economic organization, especially in the rural and remote areas. Weekly markets bring people together from surrounding villages who come to sell their agricultural or other produce and to buy manufactured goods and other items that are not available in their villages. These markets attract traders from outside the local area as well as money lenders. Some entertainers also come to this market, like the persons who are showing magic show, puppet show, folk dances and many other entertainment programs. Then astrologers also come here and a host of other specialists offering their services and wares. It means the articles made from same material. In rural areas of India, there are also specialized markets that take place at less frequent intervals, for instance the cattle markets. These weekly markets link different regional and local economies together and link them to the wider national economy and to towns and metropolitan centers. These weekly markets are the major institutions for the exchange of goods as well as for social intercourse. For many, the primary reasons to come to this market is to meet their kith and kins, to arrange marriages, and to exchange gossip and so on. Then, these markets are very important for the tribal people. They have attractive economic relations with the local people and the regional people. These weekly markets as a social institution links the local tribal economy and the outside economy. The best example of this kind of markets is found in Bastar district. This district is populated mainly by Gonds. These are the tribes, Adivasi group. At the weekly market, you find local people including tribals and also non-tribals, mostly Hindus, as well as outsiders, mainly Hindu traders to various castes. Then in these markets, forest officials also come to conduct business with Adivasis or tribes who work for the forest department, and the market attracts a variety of specialists selling their goods and services. The major goods that are exchanged in the market are manufactured goods such as jewelry, trinkets, pots and knives. Non-local foods such as salt and haldi, turmeric, local food and agricultural products, and manufactured items like the bamboo baskets and forest products such as tamarind and oilseed. Everything is sold in this market. The forest produce that is brought by the Adivasis is purchased by traders who carry it to the towns in the market. The buyers are mostly Adivasis, while the sellers are mainly caste Hindus. Adivasis earn cash from the sale of forest and agricultural produce and from wage labor, which they spend in the market mainly on low value trinkets and jewelry. So in this way we have seen that these weekly markets are the centers of exchange of goods and services, as well as the social relations are also made. So according to sociologists, these type of markets are very essential and very important, not only in the tribal areas, but it has a link with modern economy also, as we have seen that our regular markets also plan to have a weekly market. That's all. Have a good day.